everyone, and welcome back to D&D&D&D&D of Black Ink and Blue Blood. In the last episode, oh wait, almost forgot. Let me get music. There you go. In the last episode, the party had after a violent encounter with the border guard of the Argos Republic, made a new ally in the form of Aurora Blackmont, a quarter god woman with beautiful appearance and silvery hair, who claims to be of the bloodline that rightfully rules this land, or at the very least rules the surface world above it. Before the land was taken out from under her father through despicable economic means by the thieves that started the Argos Republic in its place. And so, agreeing for the time being to a tentative truce to escape the oncoming draconic assault, the party reuniting with their goblin bard, who is for the time being unconscious, retrieved their ally from the clutches of the mother, and began making their way across the sun-bleached Clapjaw Desert. So far underground, and yet with a beautiful sky above you that is quickly been yellowed and clouded by the sulfur fumes of the deserts, pockmarked with craters, and being traversed through by these strange draconic beasts that gorge themselves on all plant life in their way. You guys have been traveling for 2 days. With only a day's left of water remaining, and you have not even gotten out of the desert yet. With the elves taking their usual watch positions, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Lucian takes first watch and Gil second. So, Gil, as you watch the surrounding fogged from sulfur desert plains, the night passes with minimal incident. Your party sleeps in varying states of fitfulness before you see the sun, or whatever passes for it in the Underdark. Again, none of you have quite gotten a grasp on exactly what they're doing down here to create artificial weather this far beneath the surface, but the point stands as the freezing cold of the desert night begins to give way to the bleaching heat of the sun. While the sulfur cloud is blocking the worst of it, you can already feel your body temperature rising once more. And you're starting to miss the tunnels of the Underdark at this point. One by one, you all begin to awaken. Sans, our bard, will get to you. And you would all know that it is now the start of Talit, the last month of the Yavik calendar, considered the month of completion, the last month of the year. So, as all of you, Sans, your bard, begin to arise from your sleep, what would you all like to do?
Well, I'm going to pack up my stuff and continue to carry Raccoon and just get ready to go.
All right. Anything anyone in particular wants to do before continuing your trek?
Not at this time. You can do anything your imagination can think of.
It's true.
I turned my slippers of spider climbing into flying.
Yeah, you are not quite that. You're not quite that open to doing anything. All right, so you all begin to gather your supplies and get ready for another fucking day in the desert.
Sand, sand, and more fucking sand.
I
But-
fucking hate sand.
It's gruff, it's coarse, and it gets everywhere. But Gil, as you begin to pick up Raccoon after gathering your supplies and weapons, you feel the usually relatively still bundle begin to shift a bit in your arms.
Raccoon. Wakey, wakey.
Raccoon. We discussed in private what the last thing you remember is. The next thing you know, your head is pounding, but you can hear the sound of Gil's voice faintly coming into your, slowly coming back to consciousness mind. And as your senses begin to sort of come to you one by one, your skin is hot. You think you may be sunburned. Your mouth is incredibly dry. You're thirsty. You're hungry. It's burning hot. And as your eyes slowly flicker open, your goblinic eyes immediately retract into like incredibly narrow slits and slam shut again as you look up at a blazing hot sun and bright blue sky that's muddled by this yellowish cloud, like shading you only slightly. But you are conscious, Raccoon Talbrant.
This
Awake.
this is not a good way to wake up.
Good point. And he'll cover her eyes so the sun's not too bad.
I'm just gonna kind of like squint up at him, just like, the fuck are you doing here kind of face. Like, how the hell did you get here? It's like, alright. Who put the hallucinogens in my drink?
Oh no, you're free now. You're with us. We got your back.
And she's just gonna kind of like, it's pretty obvious that it's not really clicking in her brain yet. She just woke up. It's not really like she's not functioning awake yet. And then she just kind of looks around, notices that, yes, different place. She just kind of looks at Gil, like, and her eyes just kind of widen. And she goes, what the fuck?
Come on, man.
That's the Raccoon like this.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that I teleported here.
It's a long story.
I have apparently used my mind powers to teleport onto Gil. Okay.
No, you made a great offering to the purple space baby.
Which, fuck you for that.
We didn't have a choice.
Just say the purple space baby.
Did.
Thanos.
Oh wow.
Thanos.
Yeah.
Damn.
Aurora smiles at all of you, Raccoon included, and Raccoon, you see this gorgeous silver-haired woman, seemingly a human, looking down at you with a kind smile.
Oh, so you replaced me already. All right.
No,
Yeah.
no, little one.
No.
No.
They rescued me from Ergosians who were holding me prisoner. I've heard a little bit about you. I'm glad to see you're all right. Do you think you can walk?
Good things, I hope. Maybe I haven't tried. I mean, for all I know, my legs could be paralyzed. Well, here we go. And she goes to, like, stand up.
Do you
Gil,
have any?
will you
Excuse
set her
me.
down, Gil?
I will let her stand on her own for now, but I won't let her get like very far. Like
Okay.
I'm hovering.
I'm going to, before he does that, I'm going to reach out and I'm going to say, Raccoon, do you think that you might be paralyzed? Because I can fix that.
No, but I don't know what happened between me being there and now. So I'm here, and I'm very confused,
Yeah.
and I'm very
Conflu.
pissed off. And I
The official word conflu.
that's how confused she. She's so confused. She's
Raccoon, as you kind of verbally stutter and stumble, Gil gently sets you down, and your legs are sore, but seem functional. Although, as you take a few tentative steps, you aren't having trouble walking, but your legs have that kind of pinchy soreness to them. Yeah, you are definitely sunburned.
I don't like this at all. And then she's
None
gonna
of
kind
us
of like,
do.
she's gonna kind of like whip around to them and put her hands on her hips and try to be as intimidating as her tiny self can be. And she says full out, I am pissed at all of you, very much so, and I missed you guys very much.
We missed you too, but I'm sorry that we left you there, but we didn't really have a choice.
I'm pissed and missed.
And as soon as she said that she missed us, Gil's gonna sweep her up, throw her into the air like dads do to kids, and just catch her and spin her around.
She screeches.
Like you're touching her sunburned body and
Yeah,
throwing
she's
her-
sunburned. She's just come back to consciousness.
We're all sunburned.
You might want to put her down. That looks like it really.
Oh, oops. Sorry, Raccoon.
Owie.
You okay?
Yes.
Ow.
I am
But
sorry
also-
that we left you.
You didn't really have a choice, but I'm still pissed over it.
That's valid.
I don't
wanted
like
to
it.
kill her, by the way.
Understandable.
I'm all in favor of killing her for you. We would have died, but I would have done it.
Gil, don't go there with me right now.
I admitted that we wouldn't have won.
I admitted we wouldn't have won.
I'm just saying.
Let's just get the fuck out of this desert, please. I don't want to stand here all day.
And
Aurora gives a nod to all of to you, Lucian, and nods to you, Zephyr, since from the sounds of it, you've been leading the group for most of the trek. Well, we got a long way yet. Let's get moving.
Hey, Raccoon, you want to piggyback ride?
Always.
And I will let her scamper up my back.
Does he have like? Have you recently had like a costume change or anything where you have like a scarf or something?
Oh, you did! We
I-
did have a costume change!
I'm actually wearing a emerald green suit.
well, that-
We haven't changed. We haven't changed yet.
You guys look fancy.
So
Yeah, and Lucian is wearing this beautiful, like on the top is black and then it like fades to red dress.
Looking around Raccoon, you see a lot of the party members are wearing new outfits since the last time you saw him. Caleb is wearing a relatively nice-looking hooded jacket-like cloak with a red button belt binding it to his waist, and Zephyr in something of a black, like neck to toe, very very stealthy looking suit. Caro and Garo have the most obvious change, as you see Caro is donned in a somewhat primitive-looking diving suit, and Garo is wearing what appears to be breastplated armor fitted to their feline body.
Oh,
What are we?
how's
The
Caro
Queen's
doing with
guards now? What's with the fancy?
What's she say? I'm sorry.
You're asking what's with our clothes.
We just haven't had a chance to. We haven't had a chance to change yet. We keep getting distracted.
So I'm up somewhere being held hostage, and you get fancy without me. I want to be fancy.
I will take off my velvet green jacket and put it on her.
It's gonna be
oversized
fucking huge on her. You know that, right?
Twice her size.
I don't care.
I
She
don't
looks
think
like
she's
a
gonna be
queen.
fucking swimming in that.
She doesn't wear it and instead just like steals it and uses it for shade. And she's like, "Aha! My plan to work perfectly."
All right. And with
Dylan.
that, the trek
Smooth.
continues.
Very smooth.
Gil, now wearing the undershirt of the suit, which is actually something of a relief as it allows your upper torso a bit more breathing room in this heat. Raccoon using the suit jacket as improvised shade. You all continue your trek. It smells terrible with the sulfur fumes. It's hot. Your legs and feet are aching. But you walk. You walk. And you walk.
So, sorry, I wanted to. You continue on. I'll say after.
No, go on. I was just doing
Okay.
some scenery stuff. So.
Oh, valid. Don't die. Raccoon, after a bit, kind of pipes up. Is like, so what really happened? I don't know how I got to you guys, to be honest, and I'm still kind of confused.
Well, okay, so what's the last thing that you remember?
Good question.
Do you remember being an edict?
I for sure remember the scary scarecrow thingy.
Okay, so you remember the scarecrow. Okay, so after this scarecrow that actually turned out to be an Icar beast, I would remember this as Lucian. Amanda can't remember because I remember. What was it? Charlie?
Yeah.
Wasn't it Charlie? It was Charlie, wasn't it? DM?
And then I was given up. I know. But
Okay, so anyway, so it turned out to be an Icar beast, and we traveled all the way down, and then we found this city called Edict. That's where we met Officer Neon. He's a fox. No, we didn't.
At this, Neon,
Yeah.
Neon themselves actually pipes up. You're telling the story out of order. And
Yeah,
looks up.
probably. I'm hot and tired. Leave me alone.
So much for
And
the mind, am I right?
I know. I just want to know how I got here. I know everything else. How did I get here? Because I was awake and then I wasn't, and now I'm here.
since we did the job the mother asked us to do, they used the mech delivery system in Edict to transport you to us faster. Probably knocked you out so that the trip wouldn't give you a concussion.
So they used the mech delivery on something that is
Just
not a
gonna
mech.
go on record saying that would not prevent a concussion.
Welcome to D&D.
Maybe that's why it hurt so bad when I opened my eyes. It was very bright.
So
Well,
that
it's
was
also very
sunlight.
bright out here. We were down there for a pretty long time, and the sun is very bright, and we're still not exactly topside. We're still kind of lower side.
So
underground.
this is a fake sun. Okay, I can deal with that. I
Something
guess.
like that. I think it's magical, or there's something. I'm not 100% sure, to be honest with you. But it suck.
Yes, it does suck.
That's my fault. I saw the Lady Blackmont, and
everything went to shit and a lot of people died.
Well, we're fine.
Assuming we're walking.
yeah,
Yeah, I assume so.
yeah.
Then,
What
like,
Caleb said,
from what I
everything went to
understand, she saw the lady, and then the guy threatened us, and then he pointed the gun at Gil, and we all reacted and killed him. And then apparently outside, Neon might have killed 2 people as well. Which is apparently very bad for him to do in his line of work.
Neon's ears kind of flatten and their expression darkens.
That's a little rude, I guess.
And so as far as I can tell, the entirety of this kingdom or whatever is now hunting us.
What's
Sorry,
new?
again, my fault.
What's
I know,
new?
right?
What's new?
Caleb will look to the lady they say and be like, is it correct to assume that?
She kind of scratches the back of her head, and it's hard to say. It's possible that they'll figure out you had something to do with it, but I personally doubt it, if you're willing to trust my judgment. Seeing as I'm not there when the president was told I would be, they'll assume I escaped and killed the guards in the process. While it's not my usual methodology, I doubt they much care. They'll likely chalk this up to a rebel attack and be searching for them instead. But, and she glances to you, Zephyr, you are not officially rebels yet, so as we've agreed, when we get to town, I don't know you, none of you know me, and if I get caught, that's my problem, not yours.
I'm kind of also
And-
curious. Since I wasn't there, does that mean they're after you but not me?
Yes, exactly.
Oh, cool. I'll just pretend I don't know you guys.
Also, you remember when we got by the Scar Concord? Do you remember the dark elf woman that was with Queen Wyborn? She was like kind of like ooey gooey with her. Do you remember that, Raccoon?
And you hear me?
Yes.
I was saying yes, and my mic said, yes, we're not picking that up
Oh.
now.
Yeah, we've been there,
It's
don't
okay. That is the president of Ergos, where we are currently in. So if we're not caught for one thing, we're going to get caught for another thing. But Gil did promise me that I could talk to her and try to reason with her diplomatically before we carry out anything, unnecessary.
Hmm.
I said unnecessary. Well, of course you did, because it's the opposite of what I had to say.
And that hasn't changed. Since
Don't
we
knock the art of assassination. My father had me trained in that. I think this is exactly the kind of thing he wanted me to be able to do.
Your royalty.
Actually, that's a really good point, Caleb. If I can't talk some sense into her, perhaps maybe everybody else could be in place and you could do what you were trained for if I cannot persuade her.
Caleb is going to, in one hand he's going to hold the laser rifle, in another he's going to hold a dagger. Do you want it up close or do you want it from a distance?
Whatever you want, Caleb.
Down with the bloody red queen.
Open or close, casket.
Whatever you want, Caleb. I am just the one that's trying to persuade her. If she cannot be persuaded, then you persuade her. Understand?
Close casket. Got it.
How about
It's not like I'm going to perform post-mortem or anything, although I can.
I do have to question how our new friend is reacting to this conversation.
How about
Point to
no
it.
casket, because we probably won't need to kill somebody?
Well, that's what I'm hoping, is that I can persuade her, and I don't want to use extreme measures to do again
Okay.
unnecessary. And she like pointedly looks at Zephyr. Measures.
This may be anachronistic, but well, you know how the saying goes: talk softly and carry a very, very big stick.
It is, but again, it's D&D, so who cares?
Are you President Roosevelt?
No,
Hey, I
he's
said it
just, uh,
differently. And what do you think? He probably got it from somewheres too, you know.
I would like to believe that he was smart enough to make it himself. He was a good
Yeah,
guy.
he's like my favorite president, so don't hate.
Yes, same.
Yay!
Aurora
Yes.
is observing this conversation with some concern at Caleb, a child, being so just matter of fact and businesslike about the art of assassination.
It's not like he's a small child.
Oh yeah, but still, he's on the young side. After a pause, she doesn't say anything, but kind of gives a small sigh and just looks forward and continues walking. But you can see she's kind of mulling over the conversation privately.
But like I said, diplomacy first.
Agreed.
Thank you.
With Mark, I have the big stick holding the laser rifle.
They will most likely need that.
Unfortunately, Caleb, I cannot carry you. However, I think Gil could.
No, I'm up here right now.
You know what? You're-
Never mind. I guess I'm the only one who understands what I'm talking about.
Yes,
You said
apparently.
speak softly, carry a big stick. So you have to be carried, right? No, it's a joke. Jesus.
Oh, she tried.
Call-
Gil, and she like slapped him on the head a couple of times. She tried.
She tried.
She did try.
It's little practice.
It was a bad joke, though. I'm trying to
Hilarious.
You have to
Well, he
practice
does
to
not
get
call
better.
himself a big stick. It is not my fault that he misspoke.
Well,
Yeah.
no, he actually said I'm of the big stick holding the laser rifle.
No. She.
I had to be
making
very specific, but
I'm not gonna. Okay.
I realized as I was saying it, I should probably be specific that he's talking about a rifle.
Yeah, no, I understand, but she was trying to make a joke.
Yeah. Well, no,
Okay.
like I was thinking of something completely different of why I needed to specify. He was talking about having a rifle as in a big stick.
No, Lucian understood. She just was trying to make it funny, but she is not good at it.
She's doing it in Lucian way.
She's trying. That's all that matters.
And that's why Raccoon excitedly smacks Gil on the head and is like, she tried. Just like on his head.
With an effort.
With Lucian's audience being met with a mixed reception.
She rolled in that one.
Can't wait to see what Zephyr has to say.
Roll performance. Hang on.
Oh my god.
Natural 4.
The trek across the desert continues.
He ignores me.
I mean, the joke performed just about as well as a natural 4 will get you, so.
Imagine
You okay?
I rolled like a nat 20 on performance of a joke, but then told a really bad joke. And so everybody had to fake laughing at it.
You all continue the hot and miserable trek across the desert. Thankfully, or unthankfully, depending on your view, The craters begin to become less frequent, and the clouds of sulfur begin to thin. While the smell begins to lessen, becoming more of a wafting, unpleasant odor than a
Probably was burning our eyes too.
than a oppressive, omnipresent one. This does free up the desert sun to continue its unrestricted beatdown on you.
It's assault.
And
It's false too because it's assaulting us right now.
and
Oh,
as
yeah,
all of you
pepper.
begin to drink, begin to drink from your water skins, or in Zephyr's case, like pour some on yourself to keep the sweat at bay. You're
But
starting to run out.
He's cold-blooded. He doesn't sweat.
Yeah, D&D, don't worry about it. You realize that you're beginning to run very low on water, and while you all appear to have enough in your water skins to last you the night, you will be completely out come sunrise.
I think
I can.
we need to get some water.
I can create water, but I'm gonna need like something to put it in. Like I can make it from the sky, or like
Well, I possibly.
Everyone holds out their water skin.
No, wait. I got a new spell while I was gone. I got sheep water. And I can literally take water out of the air to turn it into or not turn it in, but to put it in.
Okay, so I create the water, then you shape the water?
I mean, I can literally shape the water into a bubble, which
Is that how it works?
in the air around me.
I always assumed that you had to have water to shape water.
Yeah, there's water in the air.
You create the water, and then she shapes it, is what she's saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
To be fair,
I think she's saying that she can create water.
No, she's saying shape
No,
water.
Okay,
I'm saying...
as Lucian.
Wait. Can I finish, please?
Yes, of course.
There is water in the air. I can go full air, not airbender on this shit. Pull it from the air by bringing all of the water in the area into one small little spot that's in the air.
That's not how that spell works.
But
yeah.
Now, I would
That's
also
how
point out
create water
the desert,
works.
which is arid and dry, meaning there's very little water in the air.
But there's still some.
Yeah, you have to have water to shape water.
All
so,
right,
like, Lucian is suggesting that she makes... Yeah,
Okay.
Lucian is suggesting that she makes the water and Raccoon shapes the water after that.
I'm still a waterbender either way.
I mean, yes,
Okay.
because the spell actually does specify you have to be able to see the water.
You see water.
Okay, I'm gonna look for a spot to put water.
Make a perception check.
Yeah. Sorry, my brain not working so good.
Oh, okay.
What?
I gotta see what my pluses.
Sometimes I have the fact and my brain says, haha, what's fact?
18?
Oh, yeah, it's all good. No harm done. Lucian, taking a quick look around, you do see a small crater. Luckily, not so deep that it emits the sulfury fumes that have been plaguing the party for the last couple days, but does Baston-esque enough to where you could reasonably fit a decent degree of water in it.
So here's the plan. I'm going to create water in this crater. Then everybody fill their canteens, and then I'm going to go for a swim.
Why can't you just put the water straight into the water skins?
Because it has to. It's like 30 gallons of it, and I can't like it would take a lot of energy to do it, so I have to do it in one place. Logically, with Lucian's knowledge of magic, could she possibly do a spell and individually fill a canteen?
It would take you. You can only do create and destroy water once per, like essentially on a container by container basis. So you would have to cast it a separate time for each canteen.
Yeah.
However, I will say with your reasonable mathematics knowledge, you would know two helpful facts here. That one use of create water would be able to top off everyone's canteens. Let me double check my math to make sure that's you could actually top off everyone's canteens and have some water to spare.
Yeah, that's why she was like, I'm gonna take a dip after we're like,
Oh, I did not say this crater was deep enough to swim in. I just said it was deep enough. It's more of a well than again, this crater's not
I can at least
huge.
dip my toes in, or my hands in, or my face.
Yeah, that's fine. Basically, it's like it's like a big salad bowl, basically.
You ruined Gil's fun.
Shut the fuck up!
Yeah, ruining Gil's specific fun with these cold hard facts.
I know.
Okay. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to cast Create Water in the crater.
All right. You all watch as Lucian prays, and the crater fills up with a pretty substantial amount of water. A bit of it sloshes out, as this is a little. This isn't quite made to fit as much as the spell can create, but there's still a pretty healthy amount of water within.
I'm gonna put my canteen. I'm gonna fill up my canteen.
All right. Zephyr, I know what you're going to do. So everyone stands Zephyr. Do you wish to use this chance to top off your canteens?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Why would we not?
All right.
So look at those
Ghetto?
right big.
And Ghetto can take a sip if he wants.
Caro, are you going to top yours off as well?
Yes.
And then Karen will probably jump into it.
Yeah, Garo begins
that's
to.
what Lucian's doing.
Garo begins to gratefully lap up the water, as they've basically been like surviving by skimming off the top whenever Caro takes drinks.
I'm
So.
pretty sure this is like the least tiger-friendly environment possible.
Oh yeah. Especially for a tiger in armor.
I don't think any species of tigers live anywhere near a desert.
I wouldn't know, so. But you all begin to stand Zephyr, top off your water skins, and Lucian, at a glance, as Caro backs away and Garo begins to slurp from the crater, it looks to have taken up about half of the water that managed to fit into the crater. Between that and what sloshed out at the spell's casting, there looks to be about 4 gallons of water remaining.
Okay, I'm just gonna like cup some of it and like splash my face and try to cool down.
All right, and Zephyr, as you watch Garo drink and Lucian wash the sweat and stand and grime off of them a bit, what would you like to do the thing you're planning to do?
Sure. I would like to go to the lady and just like kind of point towards what we're pretty much the direction we're going to. Just like so, we continue that way.
Yeah, we'll have to. We're almost out of the desert. At that point, it's just a matter of crossing the Ravenhair Plains, making it through Death Nest Valley, and then we just have to get across the Humming Highlands, and we'll be there.
All right. Then proceed to start walking as she instructed.
All right.
Zephyr, are you not going to take some water?
I'm good.
Suit yourself.
Out of curiosity, can I shape water all of this to just float into a bubble to come along with us? So that way we can keep it at any point.
You would have to. It's not concentration and it's instantaneous, so you
Well-
could briefly. Yes, Austin.
Well, you can change. I think you could like have it the shape change for up to.
You can change the flow, but this is different. It's because the spell is instantaneous and not concentration, and you can only change the flow of water rather than like something
No.
that drastic.
Change the
This
shape as
isn't.
well.
No, this isn't shape the flowing river. This is shape water. In the spell book, it says you can make water float, raise a wall of water into the air, make an ice wall, turn water into mist or mist into water, control the water in somebody's body, or part the water in a flowing stream. This is all you can do. In D&D
Yeah,
Beyond, it's
yeah,
literally showing
Yeah, wait, what spell are you doing?
shape water.
That's not what shape water does.
Let's see, it says here, shape water. You choose an area of water that you see within range and that fits within a 5-foot cube. You manipulate it in one of the following ways. Instantaneously move or otherwise change the flow of the water as you direct up to 5 feet in range. This movement doesn't have enough force to cause damage. Cause the water to form into simple shapes and animate at your direct. Changes last for 1 hour. You change the water's color or opacity. Water must be changed in the same way throughout. The change lasts for 1 hour. You freeze the water, provided that there are no creatures in it. The water unfreezes in 1 hour. If you cast the spell multiple times, you can have no more than 2 of its non-instantaneous effects active at a time. You can dismiss such an effect as an action.
So you could make a bubble of the remaining water, but it could only go 5 feet from the crater before it would like pop, basically.
Well, okay. Brainy brain
Apparently,
again.
it's on the spell list for Druid, Sorcerer, and Wizard.
Although Raccoon gets it as like a class bonus.
Yeah.
All right. In that case, does anyone else have anything they want to do
Has
at this?
a component of S, whatever the fuck that means.
Somatic. It means that you need to have your hands free to do it. So if your hands are bound, you can't cast the spell. All right. So does anyone have anything they want to do at the crater before you continue on?
Well, just as we start to walk, Gil does have one thing he wants to do.
Go for it.
So he's going to look up at Raccoon that's on his back.
Bless
again,
you.
And he's going to say, "So, Raccoon, I know you don't really like that loud pistol that I gave you before. Why don't you try this?" And he'll pull out the laser pistol that he got back in the lab and hand it to Raccoon.
She's going to take it, stare at it. Her eyes get wide, and then she looks at him and says, "I have no idea how to use this."
Just like before. Point and pull the trigger.
Does it take bullets, ammo?
No,
Or-
it uses an energy
It uses an
cells.
energy core.
Fuck yeah.
All right.
She
What
gets
spell were you looking at, by the way? Because
she gets cited.
Shape Water and D&D Beyond does not say what you thought it said.
No, it is a misreading thing.
It was
like
a
they're-
misread.
Yeah, they're
Okay.
yeah, still recovering.
Yeah, I'm still
No,
having
that's
brain
fine. That's fine. I'm
issues.
just I just want to make sure like it wasn't messing up for you or something.
No, my brain is messing up for me.
Yeah, it's all good. No harm done. All right, so in that case, Gil, take a laser pistol from your inventory. Raccoon, you may add one to yours. It's already on D&D Beyond, so
How many fucking laser pistols does he have?
yeah, he's
I
been
just-
like scavenging
the
them off
one.
of dead enemies.
Seriously, Gil might
Well,
be
the
able to
one
start his
I
own
found-
fucking laser gun shop.
Well, I guess
I
we know
don't
what
have
Gil's
that
gonna be
was
doing when
his
the
last
campaign's over.
Yeah, he's
Gil
going
opens his
to
own
give up the
shop.
weapon of adventuring, and he's just going to he's gonna just open a shop and become a merchant.
It's called Gil's Guns, and it'll have like picture of Gil flexing.
Yeah, of course. That's absolutely something you would do. All right.
Yes.
Hey,
With,
sorry, how do I use an action in D&D Beyond on the site?
you know,
To be able to roll them on the site.
it basically if you have it equipped, there will be a little box around usually the modifier number. You just click that and it rolls for you. But if need be, I have dice on hand. I can roll on your behalf if need be.
How do you equip it?
Go into your inventory. There's a little checkbox next to items you can equip. Just hit that. And again, if need be, I have your character sheet pulled up and your stats saved, so I can take over if need be. So,
okay, I got it.
With your canteens refreshed, for the most part, all of you knock off.
How much of the water did that take?
One more time, sorry.
How much of the water did that take?
4 gallons out of 8 gallons total.
So there's 4 gallons left in that little crater.
Mm-hmm. Which Lucian washed themselves off a little bit, and Garrow just topped themselves off basically, as otherwise they've just been like skimming off the top of Caro's water skin. And with that, you guys continue. Zephyr, basically you've already with the last of your water from your water skin, you've taken enough to be fine today, so you don't have to worry about anything today. You're a little bit
not to refill his water skin.
Yep.
Okay, hold up.
Lucian did offer twice.
So Caleb's gonna look to Zephyr and be like, "Are you not going to get more water?"
Not from there.
Where else are you going to get water? In case you haven't noticed, all that's out here is sand, and more fucking sand.
It's his brother. He'll pull out his decor of endless water and be like, "This is all the water I need." Pretty simple. Say a word and give me water.
Wait, when did he get that?
Are you
bought it from the
fucking
Reapers.
serious?
Talking to his brother.
Yeah, this is in private at the front of the group. Caleb, you do not recall.
Yep. Well, I believe I'm trying to think exactly. Oh yeah. I had some business I took care of after I asked my question. That business had a couple of items for sale, and I ended up buying a few.
That's interesting.
This is one of the items. I believe the boots I gave you were.
The boots he gave him what?
The boots I gave you were also part of that store. Boots of elven kind. So those boots that make it quiet. Just know there's boots. They're very cool.
Okay then. So it's because you have this, it's not just because you hate Lucian. He's basically checking that he's not getting water because he has that thing and not because he hates Lucian.
Oh. If it was an emergency, I would put my own survival over hatred.
Okay then. I guess that's all Caleb has to say.
All right.
Lucian's in the back, seething like, what are they talking about up there?
uh, uh, all right. You guys continue your trek. Lucian, as you're kind of seething quietly towards the back, Aurora kind of gently nudges you, and your attention's drawn away from the Tebadrins towards her as she gives you a smile. And something on your mind?
Hmm. I trust the little one less than I could throw him. But I'm sorry that we haven't exactly told you everything. I figured when we stop for the night, I guess I could catch you up. Um, I think after everything, I think you do deserve to know.
I appreciate that you're willing to trust me with it.
Well, my trust is not easily gained, so please do not lose it.
I would never do such a thing. Our goals are aligned, and I see no reason to break that now, unless you all have some hidden agenda I don't know about. We're on the same side, even if we are going about the goals separately.
Well, that's why I want to be, honest with you about what we are here for, what we are doing, why we're doing it. You've kind of gotten bits and pieces, but I think you deserve to know it all.
She gives you a smile and pats you on the shoulder. If there's one thing I can do, it's put pieces together when they're in front of me. I don't know the whole story, but I've drawn my conclusions. Uh, but I appreciate it, and that's a good policy to have. It does no one any good to keep secrets, especially from allies.
I just wish that all of us held that.
She gives a bit of a shrug and, well, give them time and they'll come around. My father talked a lot about people like that, people wrapped up in their own world, their own problems, and eventually they all came around for him. I expect it'll be similar here.
I know Zephyr is hiding something. I'm not stupid. I just it is. And I just don't want to see us hurt because he has a goal, and I know that he will do whatever it takes to reach that goal, and I just have a lot of concerns.
Well, do you have any reason to believe, beyond your suspicions themselves, that his goal is unaligned with your own? Just because he chooses not to share them doesn't make them malicious.
It doesn't mean that they're not malicious, because he has burned us before.
She gives a bit of a smile and a shrug. Like I said, I don't know the full story, I'll admit, but there are people who are going to burn you sometimes. Sometimes, but it's your choice to make. It's doing no one any good to hold on to it, especially if they haven't done anything beyond be a mild emotional nuisance to you since then.
Like I said, trust does not come very easily for me. I am trying. I tried to bond with him back in the caves, and I've tried to make friends with him. It's just every fucking time I just argue all the fucking time with him, and I don't know why.
She kind of tilts her head a bit at you, and you swear you almost see like her kind of grin a little bit before her expression neutralizes and gives a bit of a shrug. Well, you seem smart. I'm sure you'll figure it out in time. If nothing else, she looks up and kind of uses her arm to shield her face from the sun. We've got nothing but time to spend together for the next few days.
That also concerns me. eventually we are going to run out of food, and we are going to, you know, I cannot eat meat. I haven't eaten meat in like 5 years.
Don't fret. We'll be out of the desert soon, and once we make it across the plains, the middle of the island is pretty much nothing but jungle. There'll be plenty of berries to take your pick from, or whatever other plant matter you may prefer. The others can hunt, hopefully with your help.
I'll try my best, but I am not a hunter.
She gives a smile. Neither was I, but I made do.
I think Caro is probably the most experienced out of all of us, and probably could surprise us with what she can do.
She seems to know what she's talking about at the very least, so we'll see how it plays out.
Just,
Trust the flow.
I just really, 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 really hope that this is worth it. I'm sorry, I don't mean to sound mean, but like, this sucks.
She gives you a bit of a smile. Well, if it's any consolation, we're all in the same life raft of suffering together.
Yeah, I just don't want it to be more miserable than it has to be.
She gives you a smile and a nod. You all continue to trek for most of the day, but as the sun begins to set, the air begins to cool. Not just in the desert quickly growing to its freezing cold in the night, but the air becomes less arid and dry. And as the sky is reddening from the setting sun, as you all crest a hill of blackened, ashy sand, it's a bit of a walk, but in the distance, in the direction you're all going, you can see a river flowing directly horizontal, cleaving a path through the desert. And it's on the horizon a bit, but looking close, you can actually see bits of tree life and shrubbery on the other side of the river.
Finally, we can get out of this place.
She looks up at the rapidly darkening sky and to the rest of you. We can continue to the river, but we could set up camp here for the night if you all prefer. I'll leave the judgment in all of your hands.
Are we still in desert or are we in cooler territory?
Yeah, it is cooling off. The sun is setting, so the desert's getting cold, and you're still in the desert, but you can see the river is within walking distance. It's just still a bit of a trek to get there. And on the other side of the river, you can see actual plant life and a type of ground that isn't ashy black sand.
Caleb was going to ask, is there any dangers from the river?
Probably.
I don't know. Like I said, I'm not an expert. I'm only slightly more aware of this place than all of you are. I've only been through here a couple times in my life, counting this trip.
Well, I think it's safe to assume that, there's a water source, and there's all these dragons everywhere. I'm probably going to safely assume that there's probably going to be a lot of animals over there.
Hey, Caro.
Yes.
Can you make me a nature check?
I see.
I see.
I also had a question as well, Matt.
Go for it.
So looking at the sky, could I gauge how much time is left in the day as far as light goes?
I'll say I'll say at a rough guesstimate, looking at the sky, Gil, you estimate you have probably about an hour, maybe two, before nightfall.
And
I got
how much of that would it take to get to the river?
Make me a perception check. Or actually, survival. Yeah. Forgot survival was a stat for a minute there.
I don't like the look on your face.
It's not bad, but it's not great.
So Matthew,
What's up?
I got a 16.
Noted.
Mhm.
Oh,
And
Oh,
Gil,
shit.
your survival?
What did you get?
11.
He got an 11.
You're not sure. Like, you can see the river there, but you know from experience that the visual of a march is a lot different than actually trekking it, especially through sand. So you aren't really confident in any particular way. And Caro,
Fucking
Wow.
sand.
while Gil is looking at the sky and sand, and everyone is banding about what to do next, and Aurora waits for a response, your attention is drawn to something else. You glance down and see the massive footprints of the plate dragons that had been migrating through this area. And as the young one you had encountered at the crater indicated, they appear to be moving collectively this direction, likely to return to the other side of the river where there is more plant life to be found. But despite the river being probably the only water source they've had, and they likely couldn't have reached this area significantly faster than you don't see a single dragon anywhere.
Mm.
And you would know that, again, like they couldn't have gotten here much faster, and there would likely be stragglers waiting to actually enjoy the water before having to make another long trek. And the fact that there's not a single one anywhere unsettles you.
Caro's not gonna bound up to whoever's closest to her, really.
I'll say Caleb.
Grab Caleb by the sleeve and just. Something is wrong here.
Something is wrong here? Why do you say that?
Look, and he's gonna drag him over to the footprints. These footprints are. Can I tell if they're like brand new or just recent?
I'll say with the nature check you made, you didn't roll survival, but I'll say like, with your natural tracking, you would at least have a vague idea. They seem to be at most several hours old. Like they definitely passed through here a while ago, but it couldn't have been longer than a day.
The footprints aren't very old, but there's none of them around. They don't seem like they're very fast.
So, for some reason, they have left this area after arriving at it.
Yes.
Do all of us hear this?
Carol, are you making an effort to
I don't
keep this
think we're
quiet?
exactly
No.
whispering.
I'm not whispering.
So
We're
yeah,
talking.
So yeah, all of you can hear it.
Lucian will kind of peek in and just be like, do you think that it's another dragon? Maybe a territorial one? Like are there aquatic ones?
What? Yes, but I don't know about here. These aren't like dragons I know.
Well, with your expertise and your, you, do you think that we should probably camp here for the night and try to cross the river when it's a little lighter?
Can I, investigate the river?
You can't directly. You're still a significant distance from it, but you can take a look at it if you like.
Can I look at it from a distance with my eagle eye?
Yeah. What do your frog eyes see? The inside of my own mouth, mostly. What are you looking for? Just like general observation of the area?
If I can see if there's anything in the river.
make me a perception check at disadvantage because A, long distance, and
Well,
B,
yeah, it's so far away.
it's far away, and
Guidance.
the heat waves of the desert.
No! Come back!
Yeah, and you have guidance, so add a d4 to this result if you want.
Yes, one sec. My dice decided to leave me entirely. Just noped out of existence. Okay, I'm making a little area this time. Okay. Uh, 14.
Okay, and do you want to add a d4 to that or no?
Sure.
Go for it.
Can't hurt, I guess.
Go for it.
Okay. D4 is the triangle dice.
Yeah, the drop.
The pain drop.
Yeah, it's the painful one. Don't step on it.
I love how universal that is. It's really funny to me.
Okay, I only got a what, so it was 50.
Okay. Caro, you squint, and luckily, with the setting sun, the heat is cooling off in the desert enough for the heat waves to not be so disadvantageous to your vision, and the distance is long, but not incredibly so. Looking ahead, Caro, you squint, and you are able to make out one notable thing in the river. You see what you about expect. The desert sands begin to lighten to a more natural, not sulfur tinted yellowish orange. What you'd expect from desert sands. The edges of the river are marked with some slight plant growth, although a little more on the opposite side of the river, where you estimate to be where the Ravenhair Plains begin. But in the river, just floating, not seeming to move with the tide, you see slumped up against the edge of the Ravenhair Plains side of the river the head of a plate dragon. Its body submerged, but its head resting against the edge of the river. And from its body, you see that the changing tide river flow is slightly tinted red.
Oh dear.
Caro is gonna like, something attacked the plate dragons.
Something?
I don't know. There's one bleeding in the river.
Is it still alive?
No.
I don't know. It's not moving.
Should we go check on it?
I don't know, Gil.
If the thing is still alive, you gotta put it out of its misery.
It's probably best for nature to take its course at this point. I'm sorry.
That, and I
Excuse
don't
me.
think something big will leave its meal, so...
I'm sorry, Zephyr, that my morals do not line up with whatever the fuck is going on with you. Oh.
Either way, so the planning. So
Hey, DM.
It's going to leave it there. It's probably going to eventually take it away.
DM, I have a
What's up?
question.
Go for it.
Since Raccoon did bring up the fact that she can do shape water, could, with Lucian's knowledge of magic, could it be possible that she would know that they could put because she said that they could do like a wall, like bring it up, right?
No, they can't.
A 5-foot wall, technically. A 5 by 5 foot wall.
Well, that's fine, but what I'm thinking is maybe Raccoon could make a barrier.
No, not yet. You guys were deciding if you wanted to set up camp here or across the river first.
Personally, I would like to be in the shade, but it doesn't look like. Okay, from my keen mind, could I figure out if we could get across the river before dark?
You would know that it would be dark pretty much by the time you got there. So you're risking potentially crossing the river at night, or you could set up camp at the river's edge. But you are definitely, unless you all sprint it, are not going to make it across the river before nightfall.
Kero, what are the chances of whatever attacked the plate dragon could be nocturnal?
Well, it's already hunted, so I don't know.
So maybe we should go while it's full.
It may still be territorial, even if it is eaten.
That is a good point.
We'll just have to be extra careful on our watches.
Well, that's why I was going to bring up the fact that, Raccoon can shape the water like a barrier, or maybe like a barrier, so that we could walk across the river if it's not too deep. And well, do you have any suggestions?
Well, thinking it over, I have a few. Seems our options are to skip or worry about this problem in the morning. It's just still a problem, and not much we could do too much, but or go now. So it's a question of, do we stay or go? Do we risk it or not? Seems as though, based off what you've said, that it possibly has fed, or it could be luring other creatures.
I think we should get to the river, but we should cross it in the morning.
But like Kero said, it could be territorial, meaning that it has a radius that it hunts in.
Regardless, we're going to have to go into that radius eventually.
Eventually, yes, but we should do it when we're stronger, and I need more. I need to rest so I can do my spells if I need to.
Yes. Let us be ready for a fight.
That way,
Sounds
in the
like a plan.
morning, I can prepare to fight if I need to. Understand? I can only do certain spells at certain times. I have to prepare them. Do you understand?
Yes. I just don't want to leave this thing suffering if you could help.
It's unfortunately nothing we can do.
Do we even
This
know if
one
it's
is-
alive?
Oh, it bleeds.
I understand that you want to put it out of its misery, but like I said, it's probably best to
You
let
kind of
nature take its
shoot out
course.
its head
but-
just to make sure it's dead.
That's gonna be a tough shot.
How far away?
Yeah, we're far away. How many
I'll
feet
say-
away from us is it?
Oh, this is not a feet question. This thing is miles away.
Okay.
Oh, I see.
That's fine.
Why are we able?
I saw it with my eagle eye.
Well, yeah,
I'll grin.
it's a desert flatland,
Oh.
so
I'll grin and I'll look at Kero. Kero, isn't it a shame that Sheen is not here? I bet he could do it.
Is it within? Well, it has to.
Sorry. What?
She said it's a shame that Sheen is not here. I bet he could do it.
That is true. She gives
I
she
wonder
gives
how
us
he
a
is. I should
smile.
send him a message. I should also send the message to the
Yeah.
Are we
the
higher
and
up
make sure
than
that
it?
she-
Yes.
yeah, you are up on a hill, so you are elevated.
we never talked to him after we went to
Edict.
yes. He might
sounds
think
like
we are dead.
I can send him a message later, but right now I need to get some rest, and I need to message Sun Dragon and let her know that we are kind of a little far away and we can't go see her right now. Unfortunately.
It's okay. It's okay. Let us rest.
Yes.
It's been a long and hot day. And she just lays on the ground.
And Caleb, you were going to ask something?
Oh no, I don't have anything.
I will give my my bedroll to the Lady Blackmore. Get some
Okay.
rest.
Of course.
And I will talk Raccoon in with me again, as usual.
I'll take first watch.
As you all bunk down for camp, all of you knock off a day's worth of rations from your inventory. If you don't have one, then your character's going to have to get some from someone else or suffer a penalty. But assuming everyone's got rations to last them the night, you all begin to settle in, and Lucian and Gil, make me your usual perception checks for your watches.
Okay. I got a 24.
Okay, Gil?
What did you get? I see that look. What did you get?
9.
You got a 9.
Okay.
Our second watch is going to be fun.
All right. As you all have dinner and start tucking in, Lucian, you take up a meditative posture and start to get ready for your nightly watch. Can you do me a favor and make me a Constitution saving throw?
Sure. Oh. Hang on, I gotta see what my... Da, 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 da. 13.
Noted.
Oh no.
Raccoon, can you also make me a Constitution saving throw?
It's the drug.
Oh no.
18.
Wait, the drug?
The drug.
Noted. Okay.
What happened? I'm sorry.
We'll see.
They rolled a Constitution save, right?
Oh no. I'm sorry in advance for Lucian.
Oh no. Constitution saves are never good.
I mean, yeah. Okay, noted.
Inspiration.
No, I don't have inspiration right now.
I thought you had it.
Noted, Raccoon.
I don't see it. No, I don't have inspiration right now. No.
Okay.
I used it last game.
He's laughing before he does it.
I don't like this.
All right.
We can
Lucian.
hear you laughing, Matthew.
It's never good when the DM laughs.
What can I say?
This is gonna be good.
Lucian, you feel
For
something.
one viewer, this is gonna be quality content.
Yeah, don't hype me up too much. Lucian, you feel a headache starting to return between your irritation at the day's events and the fact that you have not gotten another hit of either of the things you've become very fond of over the past several days is starting to take its toll.
You had coffee last time. Last
No,
session.
she never.
No,
No,
I didn't.
You gave her the beans
You
and she
offered it.
refused.
I refused.
Fuck you.
She never made it.
She said she was too dehydrated for it.
So shove down your damn throat.
Uh,
Tell me
Alright.
more, DM. How am I feeling?
Not great. You're like, even though, like, you know, you're very proud of the fact that as an elf you need very little sleep. You're just exhausted, tired, irritated. Your head hurts, and you just really want to just lay down, even in the freezing cold stand if you have to, and just take a nap.
I have to say, I'm underwhelmed.
I mean, I told you not to hype me up too much.
I would like to. Everybody's gonna hate me for this. I would like to send a message to Lucifer.
Okay,
And this is gonna be in Celestial.
of course. And everyone's asleep anyway, so. Okay.
Okay.
What would you like to say?
I really hope that whatever is going on is worth this bullshit. I'm tired of everything right now, and I miss you. I want to come home. That's it.
There's a long pause, and you have this like buzzing in your head as you just like irritatedly watch the river shift, flow and babble as it goes, before you finally hear the voice of your brother respond to you, also in Celestial. I promise it will be. You'll be very happy when I'm done, I promise. I'm making a lot of progress. I just need more time.
Fuck. Why? Why, Lucian? I hate you. Okay. Send another message.
All right, go for it.
How much more time do you need? I feel like it's been forever already. I know I said a month, and the month is not yet over. How much time? And that's my message.
There's a pause. He responds to you quicker, and his voice sounds fervored and hurried and rushed. I don't know. It's not an exact science. I'm working really hard. And while there's no audio cue to indicate what he's doing physically, you can almost imagine him slumped wherever he's sitting. It's hard. I haven't slept in days, but I have to keep going. I found the pieces. I just need to put them together. And that's the last thing you hear.
Don't cry on us.
I'm thinking.
Try to.
I have one more spell slot that I can do this. And I hate her so much for wanting to do this. Okay.
I'm now just wanting the creature to attack us during her.
You know what? I will put my head in my hands and just dig my nails into my scalp. And I will say to the sky, what's the point? You sent me out here to do whatever it is that you wanted me to do, and it sounds like he needs me. I want to go home. I just want to go home. And that's all I'll say.
As you make your declaration to the heavens, you slump. Your stomach hurts. Your head hurts. Your eyes are moist. It's freezing. And the freezing cold is a discomfort now, but you can't stop thinking about how hot you know it's going to be in the morning. The fact that you've seen nothing but craters and sulfur and sand for the past few days. It's overwhelming, but you settle into the remains of your watch and irritatedly scan the river for any movement, and your eyes pass over it, not seeing anything out of the ordinary, and content to be alone with your thoughts, your gaze flickers back, almost instinctually double taking. The plate dragon's gone.
Okay. I will wait for my watch to be over. I'm going to walk over to Gil. I'm going to kick him in the pants. Get up!
Is it morning?
No, not there,
Not yet.
Jeremy. Just
Switching
the backside.
Switching
The
watches.
backside. Just the
Gil.
backside.
Gil, as you turn over to look up at Lucian, can you make me a medicine check?
Yes, I will. 22. Oh, sorry, 22.
Gil, as you
Okay,
roll
there we go.
over in irritation and look up at Lucian, looking her over, you hadn't noticed it initially. The dress hides it well, and between the burning sunlight and the group's constant motion through the desert, you hadn't really had time to take it in fully, or perhaps it's happened recently and you just hadn't really noticed it then. But looking over Lucian, silhouetted in the moonlight, without desert heat waves and motion, the flow of her dress to throw you off, Lucian looks bad. She's skinny. Her eyes are bloodshot. Her lips are even more chapped and dry than all of yours. She looks like frankly, if you didn't know her better, you would suspect her ill health is starting to drag her close to death.
You don't look so good, Lucian.
Yeah, you look like $1 million. Get up.
Okay. And I'll get up and let her lay down.
I burrow. I just burrow.
Gil, you watch as Lucian vanishes beneath their bedroll. Aurora Blackmont stepping out to allow her use of her own and taking over yours, seeming somewhat tired and not acknowledging either of you more than a nod to both of you before taking up your now abandoned bedroll, Gil. And you step up onto the hill and begin to start your watch. And
There's actually something I want to do before I go up onto the hill.
go for it.
Once once Lucian's actually passed out and asleep, I want to get into my coffee container, take out a couple of the beans, grind them up, and try to slip them into her mouth while she's unconscious.
What?
So her natural saliva will mix with the grounds.
Do you know how
Giving her
awful
a-
that would be? Oh my god!
Yes,
Well,
but it might
Wait. What the fuck is he saying?
He wants to grind up the coffee
He's
beans and put them into Lucian's mouth so that her saliva, in theory, supposedly, will mix with the coffee grounds to turn it into coffee in her mouth.
somehow drink it while she's
not
unconscious.
very well. Like,
I mean,
I know it won't be very well, but it'll be enough, hopefully, to help with her addiction on that. Theoretically.
Oh god, I'm sorry, Lucian.
All right. So Gil's approach to withdrawal symptoms is more of the drug. So Gil, make me a survival check.
I mean, just small doses. If you do small doses.
I don't like that look on your face.
Force feed.
No, it's a 15.
Okay. Gil, you crush a small handful, careful to make it a smaller than your natural handfuls, which would just be this big meaty fist of beans. You
I'm like really doing just 2 beans, just 2.
Yeah, you crush the beans into a fine, delicate powder and begin to sprinkle them lightly into Lucian's open mouth. Lucian, you promptly wake up with a horrendously bitter taste in your mouth.
I'm gonna act like I didn't do anything. I'm like, oh wait, that didn't work right.
I'm not even gonna let you roll deception for that. Lucian, you see Gil standing not that far from you, trying to act innocent. But he's the only one awake, and Lucian's a lot of things, but she's not dumb.
She is just daggers looking at him like, what the fuck?
You're having a lot of withdrawal issues. You won't accept help. I didn't think you were gonna wake up. I thought I could help.
Did you think, Gil? Did you?
Well, so if they're like shouting, it's just
Yeah,
like,
no,
well,
I'll say at this point, if people are yelling, if your characters would realistically get up, you can.
Oh yeah, she's yelling. She's yelling.
Like, Gil's being quiet about this.
Yeah, Gil
But I'm
is.
sure Lucian is not.
Yeah.
I would like to slap Gil. Like
Very well.
hard across the face. Bitch slap.
Gil.
I am not blocking it.
Yeah, all right. Gil, Lucian slaps you. And Zephyr, do you want to get up?
I mean, get up.
I basically, as a player, do you want your character to be awoken by this? It's not required. It's
I
just,
know.
you know.
Yeah, I would say him being a rogue.
and we'll just sit up and be like, what the fuck is going on? Why is all the yelling?
Gil. Because Gil tried to suffocate me.
I tried to help you.
You did not!
Have you looked at yourself recently, Lucian?
It's not like I'm carrying a mirror, no.
You're not doing good because of all your stinking addictions. And you won't get any help for it.
I don't need help, Gil, especially from you. Now leave me alone.
One of these days, you're going to need my help. And I'm not going to be there.
Oh,
And again, Raccoon, it's optional.
And he's going to go up to the top of the hill.
And I will say, as Gil storms off and Lucian stands angry, Zephyr and Caleb glancing to her, with Gil having pointed it out to you, the two of you can see it as well. Lucian's skin and bones, and her eyes are bloodshot, and she looks bad. And I will say, Caleb in particular, with your training, you would know that Lucian genuinely looks like she's on the verge of being dangerously poisoned.
okay.
I just give a
Lucian,
nod.
have you eaten anything strange lately?
No.
With a strange taste, maybe a little bit extra sweet than normal. It's actually true. A lot of poison.
He kind of
I
gives
know,
a
I know.
look,
Mm-hmm.
like, Caleb, what are you trying to get at?
You know my expertise, and one of those and you also know my sister's expertise. You look like you've been poisoned.
And nod my head and proceed to go back to bed.
Fucking Zephyr. Can you at least pretend to give a fuck?
Okay.
I'm gonna wake up, by the way.
All right.
She's gonna take her her symbol, and she's gonna hold it, close her eyes, and mutter herself a prayer. I would like to cast Lesser Restoration on myself.
Okay. You cast Lesser Restoration on yourself. You don't feel any different. And Caleb, she doesn't look any different. Although, Lucian, your headache does die down significantly.
Oh, well, that's good. I will open my eyes at Caleb. Well, I'm not poisoned. Not anymore, at least.
At least not by something that... Caleb knows assassination, and his sister knows poison. You think Caleb would be able to know if there were poisons that were resistant to magic?
Make a medicine check with advantage. You spend a lot of time with your sister, so...
That's 16, and that's a 4, so 16.
Caleb, looking Lucian over and taking in that she just attempted to purge her body of toxins and other than being in a slightly better mood, didn't feel any different. This actually is somewhat familiar to you. Your sister often talked about this and encouraged it as an actually very effective, subtle way of taking out rulers if you chose to use poisons rather than weapons. What Lucian's experiencing is not poisoning. What Lucian is experiencing is dangerous levels of withdrawal. Her body has perceived a dependence on a substance she's been taking lately of some kind. It could be any number of things. You've seen her take multiple risky substances, knowing her.
Yeah.
And this is her body basically freaking out because it thinks it's been poisoned.
I'm not going through the same thing, am
I? Raccoon, you actually feel fine.
Okay, cool. Just want to
Caleb
make
is
sure.
going to be like, so it seems to me that it might not actually be poison per se. My sister often told me about this as a possible option if you want a longer game, so to speak. I believe you are having ill effects from not using the various things that you had become addicted to, I think the term is. Probably the longest thing that she's not had is probably the Star Blast, I'd assume, right?
Yeah, she has not. She has been tempted by it, but managed to resist it. She hasn't had a dose of Star Blast in weeks now, and hasn't had a drop of coffee in days.
It's likely from the Star Blast mostly. This is actually a pretty normal part of not using those things, but they can be quite.
I would literally kill a man for some Star Blast right now.
Well, that would only postpone the problem and would just continue you being addicted to it. But under the circumstances, we might not be in the best places for you to be dealing with this problem. Putting it off
It's not like we have a choice. I had to go and do the right fucking thing, even though it wasn't my thing to do. And now we're stuck here, and now I'm stuck here doing whatever the fuck is happening to my body. Do you think I want to be here like this, Caleb? No, I don't.
Okay, we need to get
Zephyr. I guess Zephyr's going to kind of look at Caleb. Do you think that she would stop bickering if she had this star plan?
Hi everyone, it's your DM here. Sorry, we had a bit of a technical issue with this episode and the next, so in place of the audio that was unfortunately lost, I will be doing a post-stream recording to catch all of you up on what happened in the audio that we lost. Episode 52 and 53 will have these, but the episodes beyond that seem like they should be fine. So, the next episode of D5.5 will have this as well. So, just wanted to give you a heads up. So, for what happened in this episode. Zephyr offered their last dose of Star Blast to Lucian, but Lucian, after a moment of consideration, extended their appreciation for the offer, but refused it. A bit of a nice moment for the two characters who are normally at each other's throats. Before going to bed after their watch, Lucian uses sending to communicate with Lucifer, but Caleb, staying awake, overhears it and now knows that Lucian is in regular contact with him. As the watches change, Lucian and Gil have a discussion about people changing. Gil being very vulnerable and expressing that they are actually hoping to change not only themselves but their homeland of Gyogre, as since traveling outside of it for the first time has helped him realize how privileged he was back in his homeland. The watches are otherwise uneventful, although Gil notices the plate dragon disappeared sometime during the night, likely dragged under the water by whatever killed it. In the morning, the party heads for the Changing Tide River, and after a bit of deliberation at the riverside of how they're going to cross, Lucian trying to be considerate of Zephyr, knowing how they are a poor swimmer, Lucian provides everyone with water walk, and they start to cross, but are ambushed by a pale white false fire sail dragon, a Suchomimus, that grabs Raccoon off of Gil's back, and despite the party's best effort, swallows her whole. Neon attempts to stop the creature, but freezes up, still emotionally distraught over their actions at the border of Argos. Kero summons one of the creature's young to assist the party using a spell that they haven't used before. And Zephyr, in a moment of bravery, rushes into the melee to fight the creature head-on as the creature tries to escape into the river. Finally, Gil unleashes their gauntlets underwater, and the plasma being activated causes them to explode, which does kill the creature, but nearly kills Raccoon and Gil in the process, only surviving with the intervention of the healers in the group. And the gauntlets themselves are heavily damaged. The party is forced to pick themselves up, put themselves back together, and figure out what to do next, as the group is really emotional after nearly losing multiple of their party to one dinosaur. And that's about all that was missed in this audio. Apologies for the technical issues. After the next D5.5 episodes and episode 53, everything should be back to normal. We hope to see you guys next week.